True, deep self-love is so much more than affirmations. Hi, I'm Amy and welcome to my channel. I'm a manifestation and relationship mentor, and this channel is all about merging spirituality and psychology so you can manifest a relationship easier. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about what self-love means to me. And in the manifesting community, you might have come across self-love, you might have even read Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It, or tons of other books out there about self-love. And the consensus seems to be around affirmations. And on my manifesting journey, I've dove into self-love teachings and I've done all the affirmations. I've repeated robotically. I have looked in the mirror and told myself I love myself, must be a million times. But the problem was, there was a part of me that didn't believe it. And that part of me that didn't believe it was stopping me from truly loving who I was being. So to me, self-love is total acceptance of all parts of yourself, even the parts that you don't particularly like. So I think to start this video, I think we need to cover why you might not love yourself and what to do about that. So when we are born and when we're going through life, we're going through childhood, teenagers, our minds are like sponges, and any trauma, big or small, has an effect on the subconscious mind, and we pick up beliefs about ourselves, we pick up new identities about ourselves from what we've been told by parents, caregivers, friends even, and we carry that along in life. So when we're going through life and a trauma happens, that fragments. So you're born as a full whole person, but trauma fragments parts of you. So let's say, for example, that when you were younger, you were told by a parent that you were stupid, and you believed them because you're a child and your brain as it developed to be able to rationalize whether that's true or not. So you might have took on the identity that I'm stupid. And what will then happen is you will go out of your way to hide that identity. So you might, for example, become quite introverted so that people don't notice that you're stupid, even though it's not true. I'm not saying anyone out there is stupid, but I'm just using this as an example because it's what happened to me. And you might fly under the radar a lot. You might, in your adult years, not go for job promotions, not go for relationships that you want. Or you might even struggle in relationships, dropping your guardian off so that you can have an intimate relationship because you're worried that your partner might discover that you are stupid. So let's use that as an example. So you've got this part of you that really wants the job promotion, that really wants the relationship. So you're manifesting and you're going in that direction, but you've got this part of you that says, absolutely not, we're too stupid for that. And this part wins because it is part of your identity and you do believe that there is some truth in that. So how do we even start with that part? Because I can guarantee you repeating affirmations saying that you're not stupid or saying that you're smart is not going to do anything to this part who absolutely categorically believes that it's stupid. So I want you to go the opposite way to affirmations. I want you to actually lean into this part that says that you're stupid, this part that says that you're unlovable, this part that says that you're unwanted. I want you to really lean into it and see what it has to say. Why do you feel unwanted? Why do you feel stupid? And it might say, well, when we were 5, Mum told us that we were because we got a question wrong on a test. So what your job is to reparent that part. What did that part need to hear in that moment? Did that part need support in that moment? Did that part of you need to be told that, people get questions wrong all the time, it doesn't mean anything? So by reparenting that part of you, you are starting to accept it, and you might even start to love it because it doesn't know any better. You know that you're not stupid, but this part, this subconscious part, absolutely believes that it is. And it's this subconscious part that is manifesting. It's this subconscious part that is sabotaging you, because how on earth could you go for the relationship or the person that you want when you believe that that's not going to happen? It's too dangerous. It's not safe. So to me, self-love is healing all of those parts that are not in alignment with what you want. Now, at the start of my journey, I did complete Kamal Ravikant's Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. And for a temporary period, it did work. And what I love about that technique is that it does encourage you to actually acknowledge how you are feeling in the moment. But what it doesn't encourage is healing. So whilst, yes, it is really important to actively and intentionally love yourself and intend to love all parts of you, without healing those parts that are not in alignment with what you want, it's not going to do much good, because you're always going to be pulled in opposite directions. So what we want to do is look at the parts that don't believe it, look at why those parts don't believe it, what does that part need right now, or what did it need in the past, and work on giving that to yourself. And what you will find is that you will automatically start loving these parts of you. You will automatically understand yourself so much better on a much, much deeper level than you ever have before. You will discover things about yourself that you'd forgotten about. You'll discover really, really good qualities about yourself that you might want to resurrect. So another big part of truly and deeply loving yourself is choosing yourself consistently. Choosing yourself consistently so that you can rebuild trust back with yourself. A lot of people I speak to are anxiously attached, as was I. And anxious attached people tend to go through life with very little boundaries. And we overstep our own boundaries so that we can get our needs met. And what this actually does over time, it really damages the trust that you have with yourself. So when you are sitting there trying to manifest something, and maybe there's a voice that's telling you, no, this isn't going to happen, and you're not trusting yourself to move forward with that, the reason for that is because there's internal broken trust, which of course there is. If you've allowed people to overstep your boundary, or if you've set a boundary and not followed through with it, then you are losing the trust between yourself, because what you are telling your subconscious mind is, I can't keep myself safe. So what you want to do is start rebuilding that trust by knowing what your yeses and nos are, knowing what your cut and runs are, knowing what your desires are, and intending to choose yourself consistently. So every time you are looking at your phone to see if somebody's texted you, you are not prioritizing or choosing yourself. You're choosing the other person over yourself. And for me, this was a really bitter pill to swallow, because I didn't like the idea of choosing somebody over myself, but I was doing it. I had to be super clear and super honest with myself that that is what was happening. I wasn't consistently choosing me. I was consistently choosing him. Every time I paved over a feeling with another affirmation or another visualization, I was abandoning myself again and choosing him. So what I had to do was commit to myself. I had to commit to choosing myself consistently every single day. And when I chose myself, he chose me. When I was consistently invested in myself, he was consistently invested in me. When I was focused on me, he was focused on me. When I stopped abandoning me, he stopped abandoning me. So you can see how this works by consistently and truly, honestly choosing yourself and committing to yourself. And committing to loving yourself more and more and more every day. That is what's going to be reflected back to you. If you are consistently choosing other people, if you are consistently abandoning or ignoring yourself, that is what you're going to see. You're just going to see just how much you ignore yourself. You're going to see just how much you don't choose yourself. So choosing a self-love practice is only ever going to benefit you, because you're going to feel a lot better. You're going to start knowing yourself a lot better and really uncovering these parts of you that you might have forgotten about that are really, really good. You're going to see the outside world change because your energy is shifted. You're starting to identify as somebody that prioritizes themselves, somebody that loves themselves, somebody who knows that they matter, somebody who consistently chooses themselves. So how do we do this? So it's really about noticing behavior patterns, noticing when you're not choosing yourself, noticing when you're beating yourself up for something you did 20 years ago. It's about noticing those things and noticing when you affirm something and you feel a little bit anxious. Look at that anxiety, look at that part of you that's going, no, I don't think we believe this. And look at why you don't believe it. and look at reparenting that part of you. Look at healing that part of you and giving it what it needed in the moment. And yes, self-care does have an element of this, but actual, true, deep self-love and authenticity can only ever come from within. It's not what you're doing on the outside, it's how you perceive yourself, it's how you feel about yourself. So I hope you found that video helpful. If you did, please leave it a like, and if you've got any questions, as always, put them in comments below and I will do my best to answer them. But I will see you in the next video.